Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to today's masterclass on Kickstart Your Career in Data Science. I just want to check from any one of you confirming to me from the reaction box or from the chat box that you are able to hear me. If you're facing any lags, please let me know. Pin drop silence. Oh my God. I guess we won't be able to kickstart a career being silent. So it's a request from the participants to confirm in any ways into the chat box. Let me see. 1 second. Yeah, the chat settings are accurate, guys. See if you would like to confirm into the chat box about me being audible. Honestly speaking, I know I am. I'm just checking the engagement. Yes. Awesome. Thanks, Prakash. And cool. Let's get a. So, guys, hi. Hi, Praful. Okay. So, we're going to wait for a couple of more minutes to start this masterclass. So, we're going to start by 11:15. I hope everyone is fine with that. We are waiting for a couple of more participants to join in. And okay. Hi. Hey. So yeah, cool, no problem. So we are going to wait for a couple of more participants to join in. But meanwhile, I have a few videos for you, right? The very first video is about the KnowledgeHut upGrad learning platform that we have, which we call as the Prism portal, right? So what does the Prism platform does? It is a learn by doing platform. It's an immersive learning platform, which ensures that whatever we train you or teach you, so the learner is able to deliver it, right? He's able to practice, able to download resources, appear into assessments, projects, a lot of more stuff over there on this platform, right? So I have a video for you all for that. A quick update, we're going to start by 11:15 today. So as we're waiting for a couple of more participants, I'm sure, I hope that you all are comfortable with that. Apologies for the inconvenience that is being caused. And here I'm going to start my, share my screen and start the video in a moment, please.
We live in a fast-changing digital world. The rate of change is intensifying. The workforce is struggling to keep up, and the skills gap is increasing. Why this gap? Because individuals and companies are struggling to adapt to the new pace of change. To compete at the pace of change, teams need to build skills at scale and drive outcomes. And for that, they depend on KnowledgeHut. Introducing Prism, KnowledgeHut's new immersive learning experience platform. Prism is designed to provide a highly engaging, immersive learning experience with you at the center of the learning. You get to learn, practice, assess, gain insights on your learning, and personalize your learning journey. Get started with a live instructor-led training program, online self-paced course, or a blended learning course. Prism supports all delivery modes, providing the learner with a seamless learning experience. Explore the detailed curriculum and get familiar with all the learning assets available to you. Reinforce your learning anytime, anywhere with engaging on-demand videos, smart flashcards, interactive ebooks, and recall quizzes. Practice is crucial to your learning process. Want to practice your coding? Access our playground labs anytime, anywhere. Guided hands-on exercises help you gain confidence and get productive right from the get-go. Test your subject matter comprehension through diagnostic, module level, and final assessments. Our diagnostic assessment helps benchmark you. gauge where you stand, learn tactically, and develop the skills you need to move fast. Assess your skills at every stage with a variety of questions ranging from multiple choice to code-based, completely auto-graded by our system. Assignments and projects within our inbuilt and intelligent development environment give you micro work-like experiences. Based on your performance in the assessments, assignments, and projects, you gain deep insights on your progress. Identify areas you are good at and where you need to improve. Follow recommendations and enhance your skill proficiency from where you are to where you want to get. You can join live instructor-led sessions right from within the platform. And once the session is over, you have the recorded video available right here along with lifetime access to the content. Stuck anywhere? Prism also supports one-to-one mentoring. An exclusive assigned expert will help clarify your doubts and guide you. You also get to maximize your learning potential with collaborative social learning via discussion forums and group and one-to-one messaging. So whether you're preparing to move to a modern JavaScript framework, build an AI-based application, or whatever your area of interest, you can trust KnowledgeHut to help you develop skills effectively. By leveraging our state-of-the-art intelligent environment, skills assessments, one-of-a-kind analytics, and immersive learning experience platform, organizations can now put the right people on the right projects. It's why fast-growing companies are getting on Prism. They understand that it will help them keep up with the pace of change and grow faster than their competition. So, what is your company doing? Is the notion of aligning your learning strategy with a skills strategy at the board of your company right now? What are your training budgets? And essentially, what should you be learning next?
Right. See a couple of more participants who have already joined in. Good morning, everybody. A very warm welcome to today's masterclass on Kickstart Your Career with Data Science. Okay, so let me just confirm once again with any of the participants in the chat box. Are you able to hear me and see me clearly? Awesome. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for your confirmation. Good morning, Tushar. Good morning, Devata, Praful, Prakash. I mean, I'm sure there are a couple of more participants, and a very good morning to all of you. Thanks a lot for joining with us today. As I mentioned, we're going to start our masterclass in the next 10 minutes from now. Right? So meanwhile, let me ask you a quick question. Okay, the chat box has been made accessible to you all, and I just want to ask a very quick question to all of you, right? That from where you all are joining, okay? So just write in one word where you all are joining from. I'm joining from Bangalore, right from my apartment, and let me ask one of our experts as well, our expert today, Manikant. Hi, Manikant. Good morning. Thanks a lot for joining with us today. How would you like to share with the participants that from where you are joining from?
Hey, hi, good morning, Shiva. Good morning, everyone. So I'm joining from Hyderabad, and it looks very sunny today, no prospects of rain, luckily.
That's good, yeah.
Yes. So hopefully we'll have a great session, and after that I can get to go outside.
Yes, for sure, actually, definitely. I mean, talking about weather, I guess Bangalore's being usual. It's cloudy, it's nice, and I hope it doesn't rain because it definitely rains on it weekend, and yeah, you have to plan accordingly. Our participants are joining from so Som Shekhar is joining from Hyderabad, and Sanjay is joining from Kakinada. I hope I pronounced it correct. Pradeep is joining from Meerut. Runmai is joining from Bhubaneswar. Manasa is joining from Narsarapet, correct? I hope I'm sorry if I'm not able to pronounce it. If I'm pronouncing it incorrect, apologies. Okay, Sai Varun is joining from Hyderabad. Pawan is joining from Hyderabad. Nice. Gaurav is joining from Agra. Pooja is joining from Nasik. Prakash from Noida. Sid joining from Mumbai, Praful joining from Indore. I hope you're safe, Prakash. Just we all are hearing a bit about the riots going on. So take care. And cool. So most of our participants, it's very nice to see you all across the country. Thanks a lot for joining with us today. Right. So to begin with, right, I want to talk to you a little bit about the context and the flow of this masterclass, that how we will run. Yes, thanks a lot for joining us from Hyderabad, Shiva, and Nunrai from Bhubaneswar. Yes, I called it out. Yeah, Pradeep, noted. Thank you. Okay, so let me set a quick context about the flow of masterclass, okay? Why we are here today. So this masterclass begins at 11:15 as the very first flow, okay? And post that, we will move further to the subject matter, that why we are here today, to understand how to kickstart our career in data science, okay? So when we approach at that level, we're going to start in the second fold, starts at 11:15, okay? We're going to have a very special person joining in at 12:30 p.m. IST from our internal team, who's going to announce the scholarship for our Data Science and Analytics Bootcamp. Okay, so before I move further, I want to ask you all a very simple question. From which industry or domain are you joining from us today? If you're joining from tech, right, non-tech. If you're joining from data, like data industry. If you're joining as a fresher, right, fresh. If you're joining from tech, like tech. Banking, sales, HRM, advertising, artist, whichever industry you're joining from, please write into the chat box and we would be able to frame this masterclass accordingly. Let me call out what type of crowd do we have. So non-tech, tech, fresher, art filmmaking, non-tech. Non-tech is okay. Tech, okay. Can we have some more responses? Okay, fresher. All right, we're going to have this Q&A, this quick query being running into the chat box for another 15 seconds, guys. This helps us to approach the flow of the masterclass accordingly. If you're willing to share from which industry you're joining from, kindly mention that into the chat box. All right, as of now, we see that the audience are from higher, from non-tech domain, at least seeing the chat analysis. Right. And then definitely we do have some folks from tech oriented as well. All right. So as I said that today we are going to announce our Data Science and Analysis Bootcamp scholarship. Why is that today? Because today's masterclass is aligned with our 6 months long Data Science and Analytics Bootcamp. This bootcamp provides you an end-to-end understanding to become a successful data scientist and makes you job ready. It starts from data analysis from as fundamental topics as MS Excel, and it goes to an advanced level till natural learning processing, language, and deep learning. We also have introduced data structures and algorithms to our curriculum because this is an add-on of an industry requirement that we have. Okay, this bootcamp helps you to upskill, reskill, or transition your career into the data industry. So if you are a fresher, if you're looking forward to transition your career, if you're actually looking forward to upskill in your career from data to data or towards data science, right? This bootcamp is the right place for you. And that is why we have our masterclass today from Kickstart Your Career in Data Science. What are the essentials required? Yes, it does, Pradeep. Okay, we're going to talk in detail about the bootcamp at the end, but now talking about a little bit about the masterclass. So what are the essentials required in the industries of data science? What does an actual data science at the job role does? What are the different type of job roles in this data science domain, right? What is different between an analyst or a scientist and an architect and a data engineer, right? All these things, as well as your Q&As, as well as your questions, as well as to resolve your curiosities around the data science industry. We're going to cover that up in today's masterclass. All right. Once again, I'm going to come back to the flow of the masterclass, guys. Today's masterclass starts at 11:15. We're going to start with the subject matter with the very first fold, to be precise. Then we're going to have a scholarship announcement at 12:30 p.m. IST. Exciting news, you are eligible for a certification for this masterclass. However, it is conditional that you attend the complete masterclass. Okay. So you have to attend the whole masterclass till 1 p.m. IST. Stay with us and also be eligible for our scholarship amount. We're going to circulate a Google form in every 15 minutes into the chat box so that you can nominate yourself for the scholarship that we're going to announce today. Secondly, the offer is only for today. All right. So offer reserves itself only for today. And you have to ensure that you're submitting the Google form to sign up for that offer. A team will be getting in touch with you either by today or maximum in next 24 to 48 hours to talk to you in detail about the whole program. All right. Yes, and as you see, the expert himself has confirmed that all these modules are being covered into the bootcamp. The bootcamp just doesn't end at the learning level. It goes beyond. It makes you in job ready. And just 1 second, I'm getting a call. Yeah. So bootcamp just doesn't end here and it makes you job ready. And how do we do that? We prepare you for your career. We add soft skill training. We develop your LinkedIn profile, GitHub profiles, CV building, gives you the opportunity for mock interviews and much more. This is the whole design of our bootcamp. And along with that, we have mentorship sessions for you, master classes that we invite industrial experts to talk about, right? So this is all about the bootcamp, and now we are going to start with the masterclass with the expert himself, and one more added advantage of pursuing the bootcamp. Okay. I mean, I'm sure that you all are very curious. We cover all the tools, we cover all the technologies which are required to become a complete data scientist. Added on to that, along with the upgrad certification, you get a university affiliated certification from Golden Gate University, one of the oldest university of San Francisco, who has collaborated with us. A bit about Golden Gate University that we are going to cover after a quick introduction of Manika. Right? So our expert today who has joined with us, Mr. Manikant, who is a data scientist, trainer, who has taught more than 3,000 learners in his experience. I read a quick introduction about Manikant, and I know that he's a fan of being fit, and he also practices gym and exercises, and he also enjoys theaters, right? So Manikant is also a part of our training panel at our Data Science Bootcamp, has conducted more than 3 workshops, if I'm correct, and has helped a lot of learners to become a successful data scientist. And he enjoys sharing his knowledge, what he has. So over to you, Manikant, from here, and let us know if you need any information. All the best to all our learners, and let's get the learning journey start.
Yeah. Thank you, Nikshuba. Hi, everyone. Good morning again. And thanks, Nikshuba, for the wonderful introduction that almost felt you're not talking about me for a while. Okay, anyway, just give me a second. Yeah, so I will be starting the session now, guys. I'll just give a small introduction about myself and quickly we will get into today's session. So my name is Manikant. I have overall close to 10 years of experience so far. 9 years has been core in the data science area, where I worked in computer vision side, NLP side, machine learning models, also building models from scratch sometimes. Plus, I got to work in the service side industry, also in the product-based industry. So in the product-based industry, I was developing different machine learning features for the products. And some of the well-known companies I would say I worked before were Deloitte, Dr. Reddy Labs, and Tiger Analytics, which is in the top 3 of the analytics firms in India. So that's all, just a very small, brief idea introduction about me. Now let me get into the today's session. And I would be turning off my video sometimes, guys, considering the bandwidth issue. Hopefully there will not be any issue, but sometimes I may turn off the video whenever I see a lag, but I definitely prefer it to be a very interactive session. So this is how it will be. Let me share the screen and just give me a minute. Okay. So I am sharing my iPad screen over here, and I hope you guys are able to see this. Welcome to the masterclass on data science, everyone. Now, I will be explaining few important points throughout the session. And after every 20 minutes or 25 minutes, I will keep checking if there are any questions or doubts, because I want it to be a very interactive session. You guys should ask questions and get clarity on as many things as you want, right? So I will explain some core components, important things part by part, and I will keep looking at the chatbot. You can ask a question to chatbot. After every 20 to 25 minutes, I'll keep looking at the chatbot and keep answering your questions. Okay. Now, first thing I would do is I would just check quickly if you guys were able to see the screen. Okay. All right. So I started sharing this again. Now, in this master class, the most important thing that we would be trying to understand is the roadmap to become a complete data scientist, right? The most important part is this, but that's not just this, because there are so many things else that we need to know. Some of the most important common questions that I usually get are these. For example, what is the roadmap that we should follow to become a complete data scientist? And another important question, or most common question that I get is, I do not have any tech background. Still, can I enter into data science industry or start working as a machine learning engineer or whatever it is? No tech background. The short answer is yes, absolutely a big yes. And if you want a detailed answer, then I'm going to tell you in some time. I'll give the detailed answer of why you can still enter into data science without any tech background, and how you have to hone your skills, what kind of skills are needed, and so on. The second most common question that I get is, what are the skills needed? What are the skills needed, or what are the skills that the industry requires, industry demands to get a job, to get a good job in industry, not any job, but a good job, right? I'm not even considering here a great job. A great job for you could be somewhere in Microsoft or Google, or maybe Fractal Analytics, or maybe your own independent consultancy. That totally depends upon you, right? But a minimum to minimum, a good job which pays well, which gives you good kind of work that you enjoy, and where also you grow. Like you apply your skills and you grow and you learn a lot. So to get a good job, what are the skills that are required, right? So these both points I will be stressing more in the initial part of the session. Then I would definitely go to these other common questions. The next important question or common question is coding a must to enter into data science industry, to become a data scientist? Is coding a must, or should you be very, very good in coding? Or is it okay if I'm just average or I'm below average? Is it still okay? Right? That is what we'll be looking at it. The short answer is, if you're average, it is good enough. Even if you're below average, I would say with practice, you have to go to average level or above average level, and that is good enough to enter into data science industry. You do not have to be excellent in coding. If you're already excellent, that is good. That's great. That's an added advantage, but it's not a necessity. Okay. Next, the one more most common question is, what are the differences or similarities between data analytics, data science, machine learning, AI, data engineering? Right? You might have heard all of these terms, and probably some of you might feel all of these are similar or interconnected, or there are some differences. If there are differences, you are not very clear what are those differences, and how do and where does a data scientist come in the pipeline, the project? Where does a data engineer come in the entire project? Right? Where does a data analyst come? All those things we have to understand that. And last, very important, what is the future, or how is the job market like? What are the kind of roles? How is the data science industry evolving constantly? Like Nikshuba mentioned, advanced concepts are also there. NLP, we start from very basic concepts of Excel, and we go till advanced concepts of natural language processing and deep learning and transformers and everything, because that's where the future is. That's where the future jobs are for the next at least 5 years. At least 5. So I will be covering all of these points, guys. Okay. Now, first, let me start with these two important questions. Right. Somewhere the answer is same for both of these questions. That is. So now let me start with the skills needed, or what does it take What does it take to become a data scientist? I would say a complete data scientist. All right. So to simplify this, and this is just my personal, criteria or organization I've done. It is not from any prescribed textbook or from any author or any expert over there, but this is just my personal categorization to simplify things. Okay. So I would say there are 4 pillars that one has to be strong with. 4 pillars. Imagine a building, right? You just imagine a building. A building can have so many floors on the top, right? But only if its base is strong, it can hold as many floors at the top, right? We can construct so many floors on the top, but only if the base is strong. The 4 pillars of the building has to be very strong, right? When they are strong, then you can keep constructing many floors at the top. That is, you can go to advanced level later in the future, only if your foundations or the bases are very strong. And I have categorized them into 4 pillars. Okay, so what are those 4 pillars? The first pillar is mathematics. Right? You have to be above average, in mathematics. And when I say mathematics, it doesn't mean that you should know all of the subtopics under mathematics. Definitely not. Hardly 6 to 7 subtopics are there, like probability, linear algebra, optimization, like this. And even when I say optimization, I don't expect you to master optimization, open different thick textbooks of three different authors and, start solving questions of optimization, linear programming, quadratic programming. No, that's definitely not it. Under optimization subtopic also, there are few core list of topics, around 8 to 10 topics. That's it. Right. If you know that, you are good, to understand and implement all of the data science related projects, right? So this is the first thing. First pillar is mathematics, and I will explain more in detail what are all the things you need in mathematics. Right? When I say math, it is a broad thing, right? Should you go to probability and also start learning advanced concepts? No, not required. So I will tell you what are those topics required. First pillar. Second pillar, right? Second pillar is coding. Right? And I think now this answers, is coding a must? Yes, it is a must, but I don't expect you to be, expert in coding or be excel in coding. Above average is fine. Above average is fine. Even in mathematics also, above average is fine. And most important thing, if you enjoy math, right? If you enjoy mathematics in general, if you really enjoy, mathematics, you like mathematics, right? You given a problem, you like to think of different routes to reach the solution, right? So different routes, simplest path to reach towards the best solution, quicker, or this is a trickier path where there is more calculations needed. So let's avoid this path. Let's go towards this direction to solve the questions. If you like these things, then definitely you will find data science journey very enjoyable. Otherwise also you still find enjoyable because there are many industry use cases. You come from the business point of view also, from which you can enjoy data science projects. So this is the second pillar, coding. Now the third pillar is concepts. When I say concepts related to machine learning, related to statistics, related to data science, data engineering, data analytics, and so on. So I can call, in short, I can say that there are different models or algorithms that are there that we should, understand. For example, linear regression model, decision tree model, right? XGBoost model, and the neural networks model, right? Deep learning model. And nowadays, even large language models like GPT, ChatGPT, and so on. These are all models which can understand the data, find the pattern in the data, and predict something about the future as much accurately as possible. Right? So there are different models, and every model has its own approach, to understand the data. And linear regression, for example, let us say, uses a certain concept in a certain subtopic. And decision tree uses a certain concept in, let's say, probability. And you have naive-based model also that uses, again, some probability concepts, right? So that is why if you understand mathematics, you know the core basics of mathematics very well, you can understand these models very easily. Very easily. When you understand the nitty-gritty and the mathematics and conceptual part of different models, you have very good clarity. You will have very good clarity, right? Now, that's not all. Understanding concepts is not just enough, because what is the point of all of these? What's the point of learning the models and understanding the models? The ultimate point is to apply somewhere, right, on any use case. So the last pillar is application. Application, right? So it's not good enough if you are excellent in mathematics, excellent in coding, you know all the models very well, conceptually you know very well. You can answer any question. You're excelling in interviews, you can answer any question of linear regression, conceptual question or decision tree. If I tell you decision tree is overfit, how do you solve it? So you're able to answer because you know the concept very well. It's not good enough, because if you're not good in application, then one pillar is gone and the building is not stable, so it will collapse. So my entire point is that if you want to survive or excel as a data scientist in industry, all the 4 pillars has to be there, above average. I expect you to be above average in all of the 4 pillars, right? With time you will excel in each of the pillar, that's totally fine, right? But initially at least above average is what I expect, and it has to be done for you to smoothly keep working in different data science projects and get jobs easily, and then even get to different higher level positions and solve different complex use cases also. So these are the 4 pillars, guys. Now, within these each pillar, I will explain what are the most important topics that you have to know. When I say coding, it doesn't mean that you should be solving complex graph related algorithms or tree related algorithms. If you can do it, that's great, because data structures and algorithms is also very important for data science projects, specifically in a product company. For example, Microsoft, Google. If you try to apply to those companies as a data scientist, then data structures and algorithms is one of the core components. It is a must. DSA is a must for MANG companies. Okay, when I say MANG, it is Meta, Amazon, Netflix, Google, and Apple, right? And many other, like there are also other companies. For example, Uber is there. MANG plus you can consider, right? So all product companies, right? And many other things. The DSA is very important. Okay, now let me start with the first pillar, right? Maths. Okay, what are the different topics under mathematics that you need? Right, we'll look at that now. So let me just give me a minute. I'll just see if there are any questions. Yeah, I didn't study data structures in my engineering. Yeah, definitely you can still pursue, Pradeep. Definitely, that's a good question. You can still pursue, and I will answer that question in a while. Is building pillars, what type of maths are used? Yes, I'm going to that part right now. I'll be explaining all the important concepts. All right. Now, okay, so let me come back to this question. This is a very common question that I do not have a tech background, or I don't have a degree in computer science, right? Or I have never studied anything about AI in my electives or data science in my electives. I have not done anything, no tech background. I'm from commerce background, or maybe from physics or mechanical, right? I'm not having CS background. Still, can I pursue data science career? Answer is a big yes. And the reason is, as long as you're strong in all of these pillars, you can definitely crack interviews, and you can definitely get in a data science role, right? You have to be good in basic math. You have to be good in basic coding, right? And you should be aware of, I would say there are around 15 plus models, right? And I will tell you what are all those models in a while. 15 plus models are there, which are from basic to intermediate level, right? There are advanced models also, right? But understanding basic to intermediate level models is a must. So hardly 15. How long do you think it will take you to master the concepts of 15 plus models? And we are all here to definitely, simplify this. We have curriculum, content, review, practice, applications, and I'm going to teach you in detail. I'm going to simplify the concepts, break down into smaller parts, and then simplify the concepts, give examples, analogies. So understanding these 15 plus models will be not at all hard. Right. So this part will be very easy to crack. Applications also, you will be working on different use cases, right? Throughout the course is also easy to crack. Coding, definitely a lot of examples. And when I say coding, everything is not here, only core components. And I will tell you what are those. And we have complete tutorials for all of the important coding, all of the necessary and needed coding, skills that are needed, and mathematics also. So as long as you can, finish all of this, learning all of these, and you are above average in all of these 4 pillars, even if you're not from tech background, you can crack interviews, right? And then enter into data science background. That's it. That's all it takes. You may be from physics background, or you may be from mechanical background, or you may be from commerce. That is totally fine, because even in real world, applications are not just from one particular domain, right? There are many applications in pharma domain, from retail domain. If you are from commerce background, you may connect with retail, e-commerce domain very easily. If you are from healthcare or pharma background, you can connect with pharma use cases and healthcare use cases very easily. If you're from mechanical background, there are a lot of computer vision based use cases, right? You can connect to that very easily. So any background you come from, in that background, in that domain, you will find different use cases. You may be from commerce background or economics background. Even in economics background, if you're from economics, BSc economics, or the BCom economics, or whatever it is, still it is useful for you, because there are many applications of data science in finance industry also, right? Portfolio management, stock analysis, and blockchain related predictive analytics. Many are there where you can easily able to connect with your background, right? So that is also an advantage. So only thing is you need to be good in these 4 pillars. That's it. Now, starting with mathematics, what are all the topics that you need to know very well under mathematics? So let me first write down the important subtopics. First, I would say linear algebra. And under linear algebra, you do not need to know everything. Only a few important topics are the ones that you need to know, and I will write those down. Second one is probability. Third is calculus. Okay. And statistics also, let me add this here. In fact, let me consider statistics. Over here. And optimization. Extremely important, optimization. Then I would say a little bit about geometry and coordinate geometry will be helpful, but it's not particularly needed to start looking at some topics in geometry or coordinate geometry. Whenever you find like, you think like I need to know some of the topic, then you can just start looking about it, or anyway it will be covered in the curriculum, so you need not worry about it. Now these are the core important topics under mathematics. the most important core topics. That's it. Of course, there will be other topics from time to time that will be required, but core are these. 95%, greater than 95% of the topics are only these. Okay. And under linear algebra or under probability, you need not, go extensively and then cover all of the topics. Only most important topics. For example, under linear algebra, very basics. For example, do you understand what is a vector? What are vectors? What are matrices? Okay. And some properties of matrices. For example, how do you find determinant of a matrix? How do you multiply two matrices? Right? Dot product. How do you multiply two matrices? How do you add two matrices? Very simple. Right? Do you know what is an inverse of a matrix? Do you know how to find it? What is a square matrix? All these very basic ones. Do you know what is a transpose of a matrix? Right? Some of you might not know this because you may be from a different background, but these are very simple topics, and it will take hardly 30 to 40 minutes just to explain it. It's very intuitive. It's very intuitive. Next, what is system of linear equations? That is, how do you use matrices to solve equations? Right? For example, I say, hey, 3x plus 4y is 10, 7x plus 10y is 22. Can you tell me the value of x and value of y? Yes, I think you guys can. There are two equations and two unknowns. So you can solve for x and y, right, in a basic linear algebra way, but you can solve this using matrices also, right, which is how computers solve. This is how computers work. Given two equations, how does the computer find the value for these unknowns is using matrices, right? So you should know how are the equations solved using matrices. It's a very simple thing. So it's a very basic understanding. So this is something which you need to know. Next, matrix factorization, for example. Matrix factorization. So you have A, B, C. Can you take A, B common like this, or can you take B, C common like this? There are some properties that you need to know. And to be honest, you will not be using all of these properties, extremely heavily in real world use cases. But still, it is good to know all of these. If you know this, you can understand the. If you know this, one second. If you know this matrix factorization, you can understand. Okay, just a second. Yeah, you can understand all of these concepts, machine learning concepts, very easily. Right? That's the whole point. And the last two important topics, linear transformation and eigenvectors. What is an eigenvector, right? What does an eigenvector represent? And how can we use eigenvectors in different models? How does it help us, in different use cases? So some things like this are very important. And I would say that's all. These are the core topics under linear algebra, right? That's it. Nothing much. Nothing more than this is needed per se to become a complete data scientist. And one more thing I would like to stress is, just one point I would like to stress is, as you know, there are 4 pillars, right? And like I said, this is just my personal categorization to simplify things. So mathematics, coding, concepts, application. Okay. And under each pillar, there are so many things. For example, under coding, you should know NumPy, you should know vector multiplication, for loop, while loop, many things you need to learn. So I would not recommend for you to, let's say under mathematics, today you are learning about linear algebra, right? So I will not suggest for you to spend lot of time only in one topic. Never spend in one topic. Don't spend too much time, because as you can see, there are so many things to be covered, right? There are so many things to be covered. If you spend, let's say in linear algebra, you're taking 10 days to master linear algebra, which is not technically needed. If you understand the concept of, if you understand what is eigenvector, and I will solve some questions for you to clearly understand what is eigenvector, right? But you understood it, is fine, it is good enough. You need not open a few questions and then start solving and then deriving the eigenvectors, and that's not needed, right? Because I would rather suggest you to spend the time on other topics, like go to the probability topic now, or go to NumPy package, try to code in that. That's how you have to utilize your time. So never spend too much time, or never spend too less time in one topic. Just moderate amount of time. Otherwise, you will never finish the entire curriculum, right? As you know, as you can see, it is vast, but it is not very time taking or not very hard at all. Okay. Now this is with respect to linear algebra. Now let me explain you with respect to calculus. And I'm going little slow over here because it is very important for you to know what the topics that you should be covered. These are the skills you should have. And trust me, you will not find all these nitty-gritty levels of topics and skills required anywhere in the existing internet or in social media, because this comes with experience, right? And with experience and application, I'm trying to simplify this and give you what exactly is needed, what exact skills are needed, topic level and subtopic level. So linear algebra we are done. Now in calculus. Now with calculus, see, basic, you should know what is integration. Do you understand what is integration? Do you understand what is differentiation? If not, that is totally fine, because it will be covered in the course with examples and simplifying concepts. And what is partial differentiation? Okay. And next, what are limits? Right. And few examples I will show of limits for you to understand conceptually of limits. Right. It is not needed to work on problems of limits, do the calculations and all. But I would personally give you 2 or 3. If I am taking the course, I'll give you 2 or 3 problems and give the solutions for you to get very good clarity on limits. That's all. And you will not be afraid. Functions, right? Different functions and how do you interpret that? Multivariate calculus, and lots of examples. Right? This is with respect to calculus. Okay. As you can see, that these are the only important and required things. But if you go ahead and open any 12th standard book or any engineering book, for calculus, it will be a very thick syllabus, and it's frankly not needed to cover all of that. It's not needed, right? Only this much is enough, because we'll be using this again in the models that we'll be learning. So this much is enough. Now about optimization, this is very important. Everything is important. Linear algebra optimization, probability, calculus, all of these are important. First, do you understand what is linear programming? Non-linear programming, very important. Everything we're going to deal with is completely non-linear programming, right? That is, we have non-linear cost functions and so on. Very important, gradient descent algorithm. What is this gradient descent algorithm? We should know this properly very well. And other advanced algorithms like Newton's method. Okay. Lagrange's method. Lagrange's equation or Lagrange's method to solve a complex function and get the optimal points. And when I say optimization, what do you mean in general, guys? In general, you're trying to optimize something, right? Optimize, either you'll try to minimize something or maximize something. You'll try to minimize cost, error, and so on. And when you're trying to maximize, usually it will be you're trying to maximize your profits or maximize your in general energy, right? And these are the general things, isn't it? And there are different ways in which you can arrive at the minimum cost or minimum error, right? You can use different mathematical techniques to arrive at a minimum error. For example, let us say this is how the error function is. This is error, right? Error is, here the error is 500 and here the error is 100. So over here, clearly I can see this is where the least error is. Right? Here errors are very high. Here the error is very least. But how can computer know where is this point? How can it reach it? Because computers cannot look at graphs, right? Computers can only see numbers, right? This somehow we will give it to computer in a different representation and make it and somehow ask it to find the minimal point. There are different ways. So I can start from here and then traverse till here and find the minimal point. So there are different approaches. One approach is gradient descent, other approach is Newton's method. All of these approaches are to find your minimal error or your maximum profit, right? So it's all about optimization. Now, why am I stressing a lot on these topics is because, see, for example, gradient descent algorithm. Let me give you a hint of how everything can be connected, and it is a step-by-step process. So for example, you know what is gradient descent algorithm. Today, now, you know what is gradient descent algorithm, for example. Because you know gradient descent algorithm, you will be able to understand linear regression model. Because linear regression model internally uses this algorithm, right? And this is a machine learning model, right? And to this machine learning model, I can show data and this model will learn the pattern present in the data, and using that it will predict the future. How is it learning the pattern? That is using gradient descent algorithm. Okay, using gradient, and this is more technical. When we start the linear regression topic, you will understand how gradient descent algorithm is used to learn the pattern in the data set. Okay, but the point here is, if you know gradient descent algorithm, then you will understand linear regression model. If you know linear regression model, then you will understand logistic regression model. Okay, and you will also understand basic neural network model. Basic neural network model. And if you understand basic neural network model, then you will understand complex, let's say intermediate neural network models like RNN, CNN, LSTM. If you understand these intermediate topics, then you will understand advanced topic like transformers. And even advanced topic like LLMs. Of course, LLMs are sort of like semi-black box. You will not know everything, but still you will understand the gist of it, right? So as you can see here, by learning this, and this one I told is foundation, right? It is part of the one of your pillars called math. By knowing this, you see how your journey to advanced level has occurred in a very structured and step-by-step process. And you may not know this because obviously if you're not aware of data science concepts, you will not know that, okay, this is how we will learn. If I know this, then now I can know this. Then now I can know this. You may not know this, right? That is why I am here to simplify everything and then explain things to you and make the learning very easier for you, right? So this is how step by step you can learn very easily. And And this gradient descent algorithm, it is used in this model. It is used in this model also. It is used in this model also. It is used in this model also. It is used here also. Right? It is used here also. It is used in all of these models. All of these are models, right? Which looks at the data, understands the pattern, and using that pattern understanding predicts the future. How does it understand the pattern? Is using this technique. Is there only one technique called gradient descent algorithm? No, there are other techniques also. Like I said, Newton's method and some variations of gradient descent algorithm, like stochastic gradient descent algorithm. But many algorithms are there. You can choose to work on anything, but point is, when you know this, you can learn so many intermediate and advanced topics. Look at the advantage. It is like you're with one stone, you're hitting multiple fruits, isn't it? It's not even one stone and two fruits, multiple fruits. You're hitting so many models you can learn just by knowing this properly. Correct. Right. So that is why I'm stressing a lot on these concepts, guys. Your pillars are very, very important. And I will also tell you the important pillar for coding also, because when you're good in coding, automatically you will be good in advanced level, I would say, writing clean code and advanced level production ready code. That is very important. Now, I think these are all the important parts for mathematics. That's it. Okay, for mathematics, these are the important topics. And you may not know, right? Like I said, for mathematics, these are the topics. You may not know what is matrix factorization, what is linear transformation. That's okay. Right? You can learn those all in the course. And in fact, 1 second, guys, let me also cover probability. Okay, so probability. What is additive theorem? Very, very easy, very basic. Multiplicative theorem. In fact, these are, I would say, school level. Frankly, school level, hardly till 12th standard, 12th grade, that's enough. That's more than enough. These, and then you need to know what are independent events and dependent events. Okay, what is conditional probability? What is Bayes theorem? Okay, joint distribution, very important. Joint distribution, stochastic nature. Yeah, these are the important topics. Under statistics, usually we can divide into two parts: descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. So over here, you have simple things like central tendencies, like what is mean, median, mode, what is standard deviation, what is variance, what is the range of given data, and central limit theorem, very important, and hypothesis testing. Right, and some models. That's it. And this will usually take, depends if the trainer is very good, right? This entire thing can be covered literally in 4 days. That is 4 to 6 classes. It can be covered very easily with good clarity, right? Okay, so these are with respect to the math part. Now let me come to coding. And after I explain coding, I will see if there are any questions in the chat box. Okay. So with respect to coding, very basic understanding should be there. For example, structured versus object-oriented programming. Do you know the difference between structured versus object-oriented programming? Do you know the advantages of object-oriented programming? That's it. And we have very good slides, guys, particularly for these topics. We have very good slides, so it will be very useful. And then any programming language you take, for example, Python or Java or C++, do you know syntax, basic syntax of that coding language, that programming language? And what is syntax? Syntax is like grammar. In English, we have certain grammar that we need to follow so that whatever I say, you will be able to understand. Otherwise, if I don't follow grammar, whatever I want to communicate, you may not understand it properly. Correct? If I want to communicate something to you, if I follow the grammar or rules of English language, it's easy for you to understand. If I don't follow, I just use my own thing, then it will be difficult for you to understand. And similarly, for a computer to understand the programming language, we have to follow a certain grammar called syntax. That's it. And every language has its own grammar or syntax, which comes with practice. We definitely, what are the syntax will be covered here, but you need to practice this on your own to get comfortable with the syntax. Then you need to understand what are functions or methods. Why do we need those? What are the advantages of writing functions or methods? Then control flow, that is for loop, while loop, how to write while loop, for loop, if else conditions, okay, and sometimes switch case also. That's it, very basic. And some basic data structures or collections you need to be aware of. Let's say arrays. What are arrays? How can we create array? How can I store something in array? How can I modify that? Delete something from array, add something in array. What are lists? What is the kind of data I can save in list? What is the format of list? Tuples, strings, okay, dictionary. Dictionary or sets. These are the important collections, and we will be using this throughout completely in any use case, any problem or use case you work on, data science use case. Always we will be using one of these data structures, right? Because that's how we save the data. So it's so important to know this. So this is all completely with respect to just pure coding, normal coding. Now, with respect to data science, there are some libraries, data science or machine learning libraries or frameworks that you need to know very well, practice a lot, right? And work a lot. For example, NumPy, first library that you should work is NumPy, then Pandas, right? Then Seaborn, Matplotlib. This is for visualization, right? Given data, you want to visualize, you want to plot graphs. These are the libraries. Here, inbuilt methods are available. For example, for bar chart, for line chart, for scatter plot, inbuilt methods are available. You use that method, pass the data to the method, and plot will be on the screen as output. So you don't have to write the code again and again for bar chart or histogram or anything. Already it is available in these libraries. You should be able to use the methods available in these libraries. So you should be comfortable with using these libraries. Similarly, sklearn. This is the library where machine learning models code is available. Okay. So guys, we will be learning a lot of concepts about models, but implementing is very easy. Hardly 5 to 6 lines of code to build a model and test the accuracy of the model, or error metric of the model. Any metric you can use to test the model. Hardly 6 to 8 lines of code. That's it. Sometimes it will get complex if you go for advanced level models. Otherwise, it's very easy because we have this beautiful library called sklearn, and using which implementing models is very easy on the data set. Right? Then advanced topics. Here comes the advanced topics. Advanced libraries. TensorFlow to work on neural network models, right? Keras and computer vision, Spacey, NLTK also for text data, right? This is for images. Yeah, this is still intermediate level, just beginning of advanced. Even more advanced would be Hugging Face library, LangChain library, right? I don't know if any of you have heard about this framework called LangChain. It is a framework used to, which will be useful to implement large language models, right? That is, they have inbuilt methods available using which you can call GPT-2 model as an API call, or Llama model as an API call, or BERT model as an API call, right? For your particular use case, right? So that you don't have to write lines, tons and lines of code. If you use this framework, just with around 50, 60 lines of code, your entire task can be done. Otherwise, you may have to write 500 to 600 lines of code, for example. And so this is trending right now for NLP side, large language models, or generative AI, I would say. Generative AI space. It's trending right now in the generative AI space. I will explain about this also. Okay, so these are all the parts required for coding, guys. Let me walk you through this again. Structure versus object-oriented, you should know. Syntax, you should know. Understand what are functions for. You should be able to write for loop, while loop, if else conditions. You should be comfortable with all of these data structures. Okay, and you should be comfortable with these levels. The first basic level is this, intermediate level is this, advanced level is this. Okay, I want you to be comfortable with at least basic and intermediate, which is very easy to be. NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, sklearn, TensorFlow, Keras, CV, Spacey, NLTK. One more I will add, text blob. Yeah, some basic, some minor packages here and there will be there. Okay, apart from these major important ones. Cool. Let me show you about the mathematics also again. So for mathematics, like I said, these are the core topics: linear algebra, probability, calculus, optimization, and some important quick revision you can have about geometry and coordinate geometry. For linear algebra, these important things. Do you know what is a vector matrices? Can you do multiplication of vectors or matrices, addition, inverse, transpose, determinant? What is determinant? What does it mean? You have equations. Can you use system of linear equations approach, that is using matrices? Can you find the value for the unknowns using this equations? Matrix factorization, linear transformation, eigenvectors. Very important. Right? That's the four important things. Calculus. What is integration, differentiation? Do you know the meaning of it? Partial differentiation, limits, functions, multivariate calculus, and examples. Okay. Optimization, like I said, either you will optimize to be, either you will try to minimize something or maximize it. And there are many approaches. Sometimes you may have to go for a linear model, sometimes a non-linear model or algorithm approach. So one important approach is gradient descent algorithm, which is used heavily across many machine learning models. Okay, Newton's, for example, this one Lagrange's is used for SVM model, right? Newton's method is useful in some other model. Okay, advanced models are there, advanced neural network models are there, it is used there. Okay, so most important is this. Yeah, and if you know something, how it will be useful in learning other things one by one, and how you can reach to advanced topic very easily by knowing this basic topic very well. If your pillar is strong, your advanced level will be strong. Okay, so probability, these are the important things: additive, multiplicative theorem, and I will give you examples also. I will give you a question and then I will solve and reach the solution using this additive, multiplicative theorem, independent, dependent invariance, conditional probability, Bayes theorem, joint distribution, stochastic, and everything. Okay, so these are the important things needed for mathematics and coding. Now, I will look at the chat box if there are any questions. After that, I will explain about this pillar and this pillar. Okay. What tool are you using? Okay, I am using iPad, Pradeep. So I've just connected my iPad to the screen. It's just a screen mirror over here. That's what I'm doing. I'm just using iPad and iPencil. A civil engineering student can do this? Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. Because like I said, almost in any domain, there are applications of data science, pharma domain, real estate domain, civil engineering construction domain also. Okay. So you may want, for example, a big, uh, you know, building company or, big real estate company might hire a data science consultant to optimize the cost, to be able to decide the right composition of cement and water and all other important parts to be able to come up with a strong material, right? It is like right composition of a particular particular ingredients in a mixture. That is one use case. Another use case, in buildings construction, it is very important to have security, isn't it? So deploying of cameras is common nowadays in almost any community apartments or independent buildings, correct? So when there are cameras, obviously detecting any, predicting any, how do I say this, predicting any disaster event, for example, trying to identify if there is any theft happening, or if there is any fight or any incident happening. Somebody has hit your car, so that is captured by the camera, right? And the camera has some machine learning model internally which looks at the video footage and identifies that, hey, at this particular second, at this particular time, something abnormal is happening. Somebody is running, or somebody has broken the glass window, something abnormal has happened, and that screenshot will be taken and sent it to the user, right? Community or the building owner or something. So that is a machine learning use case, right? Identifying some anomaly behavior, abnormal behavior, right, from the video footage, or sometimes trying to predict the abnormal behavior in beforehand itself. Let's say somebody is having some doing some abnormal behavior, so could be that he is going to do some activity which is going to cause some harm. Before itself it can be predicted. So everywhere there are use cases. Okay, you may not particularly use the civil engineering concepts you have learned, but your domain of civil engineering will be helpful. Domain knowledge will be helpful if you work in that domain, right? But if you go for pharma domain, maybe your background might not give you a great advantage. But if you choose a domain which will give you advantage, that's always useful. But definitely you can excel in all of these pillars: mathematics, coding, concepts, application. If you excel in that, you can definitely get a very good data science career in general. Okay, and one more thing. Let's see if there is any question and answer. Okay. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Please, you can ping in the chat box now. Anything about anything so far, whatever we have discussed. And you may think, is it really, how long will it take to get good at this mathematics and this coding? I have never coded in my life, right? Still, will I be able to do it? Right. So will you share whatever you wrote? Yes, sure, Pradeep. I will just share it to the right appropriate team member within KnowledgeHut, and they will somehow connect with you guys and share it to you. I will do it from my part. Sure. Okay. And some of you might think I have never coded, or I tried to code, but it is not coming very easily to me. Can I still, master this coding thing, or get better? Answer is yes, definitely yes. So what boils down is, and let me share the screen now once. Okay, what boils down actually is, see, this entire mathematics or coding. Okay. Sorry, mathematics or coding, to be good at it, okay, what is primarily required is basic logical ability, logical thinking, or let's say critical thinking. And problem solving ability, right? And if you like all of these, or if you feel like, hey, I want to improve in these areas, then definitely it is great. Then definitely you will be able to, get very good in maths and very good in coding also, right? If you have logical ability, or if you want to develop that ability, logical thinking, critical thinking, problem solving, right? All of these things. Right? For example, you might have seen all of these important questions, right? Um, let's say I'll give you a question, there are 100 doors, or let's say there are 10 doors. Okay. And I will, in the first attempt, I will open odd number doors, right? And in the second attempt, even number of doors, I will open, and later on in the third attempt, I will close some doors, things like this. These kind of questions you might have seen, isn't it? Finally, if I ask you which are the doors that are open, so you just do some basic step-by-step process, apply some logic, and then you will be able to answer that. Okay, I think finally this door and this door will be open, everything else will be closed. So this is just a small question, like a puzzle or a question, and select problem and you have solved, right? And one more question can be, hey, you have to go from path A to path B. There are 3 people, right? This guy goes in 2 minutes. This guy goes in 10 minutes. This guy goes in 7 minutes, right? And there is one lamp, only one guy can hold the lamp, right? Go from here to here. Who should go together, or what are the different ways to go together, so that everybody reaches from point A to point B in shortest time. What is the shortest time in which all of the 3 members can go from point A to point B? So if you like all of these things, you just sit and try to look at different ways and options and calculate. So you're thinking logically over here, isn't it? You're not just vomiting whatever comes in your mind straight away. It's not like you're adding everything and telling, hey, it's total 90 minutes. That's definitely not the case, right? You're trying to think and do things. If you have that ability, if you like that, then definitely you can do this coding. You can get this coding. Initially, you may not be good at it, but definitely with time, you'll get good at it. It's all the matter of time and practice. And I am here to definitely give you a lot of practice and simplify this coding. I'll make it so easy that you will feel that coding is not a challenge with respect to data science. With respect to data science projects, I will make you feel that coding is not a challenge, right? Only place where coding, see, when I say coding, majorly again 3 things you can consider. Coding is basic level, that is, you know to write for loops, while loops, and everything. Very, very basic. Other one is with respect to data science use case. Data science use case, you have to write certain kind of code. This I will make it very easy. It will not be a problem at all. Even this also, with respect to data science project, will not be a problem at all. There's one more component called data success and algorithms, okay, which is actually needed to crack Mang plus companies, right? Mang plus companies. And what I would say is, this is not as easy as with respect to data science coding, but it is still easy. You can, all you have to do is, solve 100+ questions, and think through different ways, and with time you will also excel this, right? So it will take a little bit more time than these both, right? I'm giving you completely a honest picture over here so that you can have a complete idea of your journey, right? This will be very easy. These both will be very easy, and I will make it easy. This also will be easy, but with practice, it will be easy for you. That's all. Nothing else. So coding will not be a problem for you at all. What is the duration of this course? Which language is better, Pandas or NumPy? Yeah, about the total duration, I think towards the end of the session, Nikshuba and other members are going to anyway explain to you. So I will leave it to them. Please hold on for a few minutes, guys. You will get that answer. What is the duration? Okay, will we get recording? Yeah, that also, yes, you will get the recording. I think Nikshuba and other right numbers can help you with that, and also to find where the recording. And one more question was, which language is much better, Pandas or NumPy? See, Pandas, NumPy are libraries under this language called Python. Okay, Python. And there are many programming languages, like I said, Python, Java, C++, you can use anything, right? And implement the data science project. So most preferred is Python, because in Python, there are many ready-made solutions code libraries available, like Pandas, NumPy, sklearn. That's why people use Python a lot. Where and when can we learn or start this course, and what will be scheduled? Yeah, so all these things it will be answered towards the end of the class. Okay, now let's get into this. Okay, so one point also I want to add, like I said, there are many programming languages, Java, Python, R, Matplotlib, it is MATLAB, C++, right? These are all different programming languages, and you can work on any programming language. For example, in Java, there is a particular library called Stanford NLP. Using this library, there are many methods available inside this, right? For example, there is one method to identify what are a certain kind of entities or words. And if I use this, I can work on an NLP project. Okay. Similarly, if I want to implement Python for this NLP project, then I have a library called Spacey. Or I also have one more library called NLTK. Under this, there are many methods available. This is the appropriate method useful for me to work on this project. You have an NLP project, right, that you want to work on. You can implement the solution using Java programming language or Python programming language. Within this language, there are many libraries like Spacey, NLTK, and within the libraries, there are many methods. If you're not sure what are all these, it will be part of the initial initial classes of the course, guys, where I will explain what is a library, method, programming language. All the basic will be explained clearly, right? But I assume you know this, or I'm trying to simplify this here. So you can use any programming language, but most preferred is Python, because there are many libraries available like this. So in Java, there are only few. Stanford NLP is one. LangPipe is one more. Just few are there. And I will not suggest you to go to Java and waste your time. Or still little bit we will understand. MATLAB is mostly for research purpose with small data. C++ also no. Only focus on Python. If I would say, if I were you, I will focus only on Python 90% of the time. Remaining 10% only I'll put in R. That's how you have to utilize the time. And under that, there are many libraries, Spacey, NLTK, Pandas is a library to read tabular data. NumPy is a library to work on vectors or matrices. So every library deals with something. Okay, Spacey deals with NLP projects. Okay, CV deals with computer vision based projects. Okay, sklearn has many models inside which you can use and implement on different use cases. So this is the process, right? So spend mostly on Python only. Okay, now let me come back to this third pillar quickly. I'll just take 5 minutes approximately to explain this concepts and applications part. Third pillar, I will just give a very good clarity on this third pillar, which is nothing but concepts. Right? What are the machine learning or data science concepts? Okay, so these are nothing but different models, guys, that you should learn. Okay, these are the important models: linear regression, logistic regression. The first model that you should learn is this. Very first model is linear regression. And it has two ways: statistical way and machine learning way. Both I will be explaining. Next is logistic regression. Next is decision tree, random forest, and let's say naive Bayes, KNN, SVM model. Okay, and boosting based techniques like gradient boosting, machine, ADA boost, XG boost. Okay, and K-medoids. All right, hierarchical clustering, spectral clustering, recommendation engines, collaborative filtering, SVD, PCA model, and basic neural networks model. Basic, like this is introduction to neural network models. So these are, you could see there are like hardly 15 plus models. If you know all these, you have covered the basic level, also intermediate level of the conceptual part of data science. You have covered this. That is all, right? And it's not very difficult at all. The major amount of time we'll be spending will be in this, not major, I would say, highest time spent with respect to, if you look at each time I'll spend, this will be more time taking, but it is holistically covered so that other ones are very easily covered, right? And this is also important. It's basic to intermediate, but our syllabus has even more, right? So we have advanced neural network models also, like CN, RN, LSTM, GRE, right? And these are advanced, guys. Models, the models that we need to understand. Transformers, okay, and BERT, lastly, large language models. These are all advanced models. Let me add this one called autoencoder. Okay, GAN model. Okay, so these are all advanced, and I will extremely simplify all of these concepts. You will just fall in love with all of these concepts because these are very beautiful with respect to their approach, mathematics, and everything. So it's very good. So I will explain these advanced concepts, and not only that, we will work on these. We'll implement these models on advanced use cases. That's where the fourth pillar comes, right? Okay, where we apply on certain use cases. For example, you might apply CNN on some image recognition use case, right? You might apply GRU model or LSTM model on some text data to know if this is an abusive language or not abusive language, to know if the sentiment is positive or negative. You may apply transformers model on some data to, let's say, auto-complete a sentence, right? Auto-complete a sentence given a few lines of sentences. Can you give me 10 more sentences to finish an email? Something like that, using transformers. And now using large language models. For example, I will upload a document. Okay, I'll upload a document to this model, and I will ask some questions related to document. For example, let us say this document is related to list of movies released in 2023 so far in Hollywood. Okay, now I have uploaded this document to this LLM model. I will ask this LLM model, hey, what is the highest collecting movie so far? So it has to, obviously it has gone through this document. It has the reasoning power also internally, using which it will answer that I think the highest collecting movie so far is Top Gun, or I'm not very sure, this year, or maybe Oppenheimer. It might be after a few months. So it will answer something relevant like that, right? So these are the advanced use cases, right, where we are applying these models where we have learned. Right? That is all about the 4 pillars, guys. Now, I hope you have got answer to is coding a must, and let me answer this question: job market. How is the job market? See, job market in future, next 5+ years, completely it's going to be working on images and text data, and mostly in the generative AI space. Generative AI space. Okay. So basic, intermediate, and advanced. Basic to intermediate are those 15+ models that I have told you. If you're good at it, definitely you will get jobs. Let's say in fractal analytics, tile analytics, even Microsoft also, you can get, definitely depending upon the role, right? But if you're good in advanced level when I say means you can deal with use cases that has images, that has text, use cases for that require generative AI, like the one just I told you, right? Documents, upload a document and get queries answered using this model. Okay, if you're good at it, then the next 5 to 10 years or even more than that will be very easy for you. Very easy for you, because see, why am I taking only 5? I could have easily taken 10 years, right? But I'm being very considerate over here. I mean, very diplomat over here actually, because this space is constantly evolving, and you have to complete this phase quickly in 3 months to 4 months, and it's possible to do it, and spend 2 to 3 more months on this to be able to be completely job ready, right, in the market. So this is what it takes to be a complete data scientist. What kind of roles is NLP engineer, computer engineer, data scientist, machine learning engineer, data engineer, all of those things. So this brings me back to this question, again, the common question: what are the differences or similarity between data science, machine learning engineer, AI, and all of these things? So in the interest of time, let me just quickly go to the core part of these differences. And actually in the course, I will explain very much in detail. I will actually take 1 to 1.5 hours to explain the differences between all of these, right? But right now I'll just hit the bullseye and get to the core part. Data analytics means just identifying patterns present in past data. Okay, you are given with data and maybe you're finding some trend like this. So what did you find the trend? You found a pattern that sales is constantly increasing, right? That is a trend of the past data. So you have analyzed your data. You have found an insight that the sales got increased from Q1 to Q3. Okay, that's it. You are not using the pattern to predict the future. If you are using the pattern to predict future by using past learnings or past pattern, then that is where you call that as a data science. Data, that's the data science part. If you're predicting something about the future, if you're just analyzing past, finding pattern in the past like this. So this is the trend is increase, sales increased, right? This is not a prediction, right? It is a fact. Sales got increased is a fact based on this data set. But if you predict that, I am predicting that, see, let us say initially sales in the first quarter, one second, in the first quarter sales was $100 million. Next, $200 million. Next, $350 million. Okay, now you have applied some data science model or some machine learning model, something you applied, and you are predicting that next it will be $600 million. Okay, this you are predicting the future for the Q4. Since prediction has occurred, whenever there is prediction involved, that is where we say that we are doing data science. Because using some science on the data, you are predicting the future, right? So there's a major difference between data analytics and data science. And I strongly recommend you to become a data scientist. Because see, data analyst jobs can be easily automated, guys. ChatGPT and many other tools have come up which can look at the data and easily tell this insight that, hey, in the past, this is what the pattern is, right? And even ChatGPT, like, tools could have also automated the model building process of data science or machine learning model, can also be easily built, which can predict this future, right? So in the future, you should be going towards direction where you build models like ChatGPT, build models like LLM, that, or at least use those LLMs for client use cases. Correct. That's how the entire game is going to be. This is a basic difference between data science and data analytics. Now, what is the difference between machine learning and data science? See, both are like definitely connected, interrelated. Machine learning is what? Giving the machine the ability to learn from past data, right? So machine learning, okay. So there is this one of my friend who asked me that, hey, machine learning, does it mean that we are learning about the machine? Is that what machine learning is? It is not. We are not learning about the machine. We are actually giving machine the learning ability. Right? It is a field dedicated to give machine the learning ability. Right? Machines, you see, machines, computers, usually they just process information. They do calculations, multiplications internally. That's it. They are not like humans who learn from experiences or learn from observations, right? But we are giving the machine that ability using different models. That field is called machine learning. Data science also does the same thing. Data science, we are applying some science on the data to find a pattern, right? To find pattern and predict, right? And when a machine learns from the past data, it can predict. It can predict, right? For example, I tell you 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. Can you guess what is the next number? Very easy, isn't it? 40. You have looked at the past data, you have identified the pattern, and you are able to guess. Computers cannot do it, but we have created many models, and we are giving the ability for the computer to look at the pattern and guess this. Right? This is very easy. It's very easy to guess, but sometimes it will be very complex. See, this one humans can easily guess, but not everything. For example, a house has 100 square feet, house has 3 bedrooms. The cost of the house is 1 CR, 200 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 1.5 CR. Okay. Now, can you tell me if a house is 1200 square feet, 2 bedrooms, what is the cost? It's very difficult to guess accurately. It's difficult. Here also there will be a pattern between square feet bedrooms and the cost of the house. There will be a pattern, but it's difficult for humans to find. But computers can find it easily because processing is faster for them. So we will give the ability for machines to find the pattern. That's the whole field. Now, data science is a bigger field under which you have data analytics, and under which you have machine learning, under which you have statistics. Okay. Statistics is also a way for machine to look at the pattern and predict the future. Machine learning is also a way. Data science is the broader umbrella where you have the entire idea of understanding the past data and predicting the future. And understanding the past data is data analytics, right? And under machine learning, you have computer vision and you have NLP, which deals with text data and images data. And you have something called deep learning, right? Deep learning, which is nothing but advanced models. So under machine learning, you like I told, there are many concepts in machine learning, right? Linear regression, decision tree, random forest, and so on. I told you there are advanced concepts also. That is what is deep learning. Neural networks, RNN, CNN, all these are related to neural networks, but they have a lot of hidden layers. That's why they are called deep learning. Okay, so GRUs and so on. So these are the models or concepts. So it's just categorization or bucketing of different fields together, right? So when you do this, you will understand holistically. Finally, I'll just tell what is AI, guys, and then I'll just stop the session for today. See, AI is artificial intelligence, right? And this is a field dedicated to mimic human brain. Field dedicated to mimic human brain. That is all. Right? We have different intelligence. Human brain has different intelligence, right? If I can come up with a system which can act and think and function like human brain, that is called as an artificial intelligence. A machine which can mimic human brain, that machine is called as artificially intelligent machine. Okay. And again, you can divide this into two parts like narrow and broad AI. Broad AI is which has many functionalities, narrow which has only one functionality. Just to quickly tell you, just think about different things that the human brain can do. We can understand logic. We know language, right? We can identify patterns. Okay. What else? We have emotions, right? What else? We are creative. We can paint. Human, using, there are creative persons, right? We can paint, dance, act, right? Manipulate. All are these things that human brain can do. So ultimately, the objective of this field, AI field, is to come up with a machine which has all of the abilities that a human brain can do, mimic human brain. That's the main objective. And to do this, there are many subfields. For example, human brain has learning ability, isn't it? That is, we look at the past data, we find patterns, and we learn. To give this ability to a machine, there is machine learning field. Humans also understand language, so we have natural language processing. Creativity, right? Sometimes we use different other cognitive science also is used, right, to understand the psychology and the structure of brain. So it's a huge field where many fields are together. AI is a very big field, which has internally machine learning and then data science. You have NLP. Okay, sorry, NLP will be within this. Okay, I can put here coding, right? Coding, so software engineering. So software engineering. And I can put cognitive science, mechanical engineering. If you want to have a robot, if you want to have a body for it, right? Robotics, right? Mathematics, automation, everything. It's a broad field which has connected everything. Okay. So anyway, I'll be explaining this more clearly and detail. It takes time and go slowly in the course, actually in the classes. But to give you a gist, this is all it is. So let me stop at this point, guys. And I hope you had a very insightful and thought-provoking session. You got some better clarity. Some questions are answered. You have a better clarity compared to before this session started. Right now, you know the roadmap. Roadmap is nothing but simply mathematics, then coding, then concepts, then application. The four pillars. Right? Skills needed, we have already seen. Coding is a must, yes. You know the basic differences. Job market also we have discussed. Okay, so let me stop at this point. I'm going to stop my screen share and see if there are anything. Okay, all right.
Thank you, Manika. And we have now came to a point where we would like to take a moment and talk in detail about the Data Science Analyst Bootcamp. However, before we begin, I just want to take a quick go ahead from the expert and from the learners. If you have any questions, if the expert wants to cover anything extra before that, open to that. And if we can take a go ahead from here, please let us know.
Okay, so hey, I'm cool, Nikshuba. I think all the important must needed things are covered. That will be all from my side.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna quickly start my camera on. Okay. All right, guys, I hope you had a great session and do not drop off, because now we're going to announce the scholarship offers that we have for Data Science and Analyst Bootcamp. About the bootcamp, quick understanding about the platform, why you should actually opt for upGrad platform, right? All these details are covered over here. Another motivation to not to drop off for another 18 minutes is that you are eligible for a certification. Correct? So close, guys. So I have already circulated a Google form recently into everyone's chat box. Okay. So while I am presenting my screen, any one of you who would like to pursue the offer price that we're going to announce today can submit this Google form. Okay. All right. So taking a quick moment to share my screen now. And yes, also to all the questions, I should be able to complete sharing my details in next 10 minutes. So yes, we would like to take your questions with regards to the data science industry or any queries regarding today's masterclass or with regards to the bootcamp in the last 5 minutes. Okay. So cool. I'm going to share my screen now. Okay. All right. I'm going to turn off my camera for the meanwhile time. And just give me a moment, guys. Cool. So as we talk about upGrad, right? So upGrad is a learning experience platform came with a vision to impact the lives of working professionals and students who are actually in their graduations or on beyond that, for creating an upskilling, reskilling, and upskilling and reskilling platform, as well as a medium for all the folks who want to transition their careers in this fast-paced world. And now we are going to talk about that why you should pursue upGrad's Data Science and Analyst Bootcamp. To begin with, let's talk about the foundation. upGrad was founded in 2015 by Ronnie Screwvala. The man needs no introduction. He has been the father of India's cable TV industry. He started and built UTV channel. He is part of one of big organizations like Lenskart, and he is also a major movie producer. Talking about our overall team, so Ronnie founded this organization along with Mayank Kumar and Falgun, who are from IIT. The whole idea was to impact the lives of working professionals and students by helping them upskill while they work, right? The foundation just does not end with great minds. It also includes the team members who can expand the horizons of learning. And that's when we added Dr. Dakshinamurthy, who has worked with our former President APJ Abdul Kalam during the Agni missile, and Parmat Raj Sinha, who is the man behind the ISP Harappa Ashoka University. upGrad has now acquired 14 organizations and operates more than 31 offices across India, England, Singapore, Vietnam, and West Asia. These are the roots of upGrad and the expansion of upGrad, right? The reach of our platform. Now, you must be wondering that how are we able to convey and be so sure that our curriculum is up to date? And that is because our enterprise partners and universities. The enterprise partners, who includes big top companies like Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Netflix, Google, Amazon, and many more, keep us posted about the new industry trends and new industry requirements which are coming in. And our university partners, which includes biggest names like Golden Gate University, IITs, triple ITs, Liverpool, Duke, Purdue, Deccan, and much more helps us to build the curriculum around the demand. So with more than 5,000 enterprise partners, they help us to ensure that our curriculum is up to date, and they hire us only to upskill their employees. So yes, they also trust on us while they want to upskill their employees. And it helps us as a platform to get our learners the best jobs, right? So that's how we are able to keep our industry, our curriculum up to date and help you place in one of the top organizations in the country. Talking about trust of not just Indian learners, but also international learners, right? So we have partnered with Dubai Future Foundation to launch 1 million Arab coders initiative, as well as we have collaborated with Singaporean workforce, as both of these countries are actually giving scholarships to their workforce to upskill and reskill. We have already conducted 3 cohorts of our full stack development and data science bootcamp in Dubai in this whole initiative of 1 million Arab coders. Now you can see onto our screen that who helps our curriculum keeping up to date. Experienced folks who are from data, AI, and machine learning background have came together with from different domains, different agendas to create the curriculum of data science and analysis bootcamp. Let's see from Peter Henstock himself. He's coming from a software engineering background. He has studied from Harvard University. Then David, who has 33 years of experience, Jeffrey, who is an author and founder. All these folks have actually came together and designed the whole curriculum of data science and analyst bootcamp. Right, along with him, we have some more folks like Gopi Krishnan, Rahul Tiwari, Ashish Kulati, and Mark Stafford. Now, you must be wondering that why should I pursue a data science bootcamp? And the answer is pretty simple. We have, as a country, we have a huge potential of being young manpower available available at this point of time. However, industry looks forward to skilled employees who are able to suffice the scalability and the pace of the growth of any industry and technology. However, Indian engineers, or actually the current manpower that they have, do not exactly know how to keep up the pace and keep upskilling and keep reskilling. That's how upGrad helps you out. And when you're actually interested to begin your journey with Data Science Bootcamp, it's one of the most ideal start to proceed with the form, correct? Because there could be a possibility that we might not know that what do we exactly do not know. I'm not sure if I'm able to convey it right, but yeah, I sometimes even we just say that I don't know why I'm not getting selected, right? Because I do not know what am I lagging. So if there is someone who is able to guide me that what I'm lagging in my portfolio, in my skills, which actually industries are looking forward to, I might get shortlisted. And that's why you should pursue for a data science bootcamp. Anyone can become a data scientist and analyst. And here are some success stories who have trusted us. Learners like Bhupendra, Amrita, who came from non-tech background or from a different background, different domain, pursued our data science bootcamp and were placed at 7 lakh per annum package, 7.5 lakh per annum package at Virtusa, which is a sister company of Tech Mahindra, right? And we have seen the video in the initial of a masterclass that how we are able to what is our methodology to make our learners experience better while they are learning, right? So that all credit goes to our tech team for developing a platform called Prism. Prism ensures that you are learning by doing. While you learn on Prism through live sessions, it also helps you to go through self-paced content. It also helps you to create flashcards. You can appear into quizzes which are being aligned with our data science curriculum. You can appear into assessments which are aligned to our data science curriculum. You will be practicing projects live on a cloud platform aligned with the data science bootcamp curriculum. Right? So you will be able to schedule one-on-one sessions with the mentors if you wish to. if you have any doubts or queries into this bootcamp, right? So not just that, once you appear into all this curriculum and assessments, and you appear into projects, you appear into quizzes, this platform also shows you the reality of your strength by telling you the skill progression and your scores across everything, and gives you a great idea that where you have to revise and restudy, correct? So this is the whole platform that we have designed which ensures that you are able to learn by doing, able to learn while practicing and doing the experience and the learnings that you have into the trainings. But now talking about the job portal, right? Qualified opportunities from top organizations, 100 plus open roles, 50 plus new companies getting added every quarter, and more importantly, you are at upGrad job portal, so you are escaping the competition, because as soon as you go to LinkedIn or any other platform, as soon as there's a new organization, a top organization opens the application, in minutes you see thousands of people applied for that job application being opened, right? So via upGrad job portal, you are actually escaping the competition to get into one of the top-notch organization. We have a placement success rate of 92%. Okay, talking about Golden Gate University, right? So what else you're getting while you pursue upGrad's data science and analyst bootcamp? So the certification that will be offering you on the completion will be upGrad as well as Golden Gate University collaboration certification, right? About Golden Gate University, it was established in 1901, ranked top best university of USA for working professionals. It's one of the oldest university of San Francisco. And we proceed that how our bootcamp stands compared to others, right? So we're offering industry validated curriculum, content, trainings, cloud labs, assessments, job ready portfolio, interview prep, resume building, mock interviews, company interview opportunities, of course, recognized value certificate. Our curriculum is adopted by enterprises and universities, so they are assured of what you have learned, and lifetime job preparation support. Today's scholarship prize and today's offer that we want to announce is rupees 60,000 including all taxes. Now let me take a moment and share you on the website that what is the original price of this bootcamp. Okay, so just give me a moment. Here we are. Let me see. Yeah. So this is the Data Science and Analyst Bootcamp. You can see we have this bootcamp has 395 plus blended learning hours, 20 plus projects, 16 plus hours of group career coaching. Here's the certificate. Here are the course creators, instructors, Manikant, who is our expert for today, right? Here's the curriculum. It starts with MS Excel. It goes to data analysis. It meets with machine learning with Python, then it moves to data engineering, and then it goes as deep as natural learning process and deep learning, and finally data structure and algorithm along with the career support. Here are the projects as we talk about. You'll be practicing all these industry relevant projects who's going to enhance your portfolio, because these are real world projects, real world job problems that you would be solving as a part of Learner of Data Science Analyst Bootcamp. These all and many more tools and technologies are covered in our bootcamp. And talking about the pricing plans. So yes, actually the price of this bootcamp is 70,000 plus GST, which comes up approximately 85,000, right? And today's offer price that we have for you all is rupees 60,000 inclusive of all taxes, right? So you must be wondering, we had another cost or price option of pay after placement. So you can actually submit the Google form and you can know more about pay after placement with your academic counselor. You can understand the difference in the pricing and the offer price in both cases. We are currently offering an upfront discount for 60,000 inclusive all taxes. For you all, if you want to avail this offer, you can actually submit this Google form. to show your interest. Just give me a moment, please. Cool. And that's all from our end. If you have any questions for us, you can start writing into the chat box. Meanwhile, I would like to answer some of the questions which are being raised. So Garima has asked where can we see the recording of the session? I'm sorry, Garima, we won't be able to share the recording of these sessions. We do not have that eligibility at this point of time. We expect you to stay across the whole masterclass and learn, right? And actually, but that option is being catered in our learning platform of Prism, so that you are able to watch the recording of the training sessions into the bootcamp. But at this point of time, we are not really sharing the recordings. There are a few more questions. You're new to coding and final year student. Shall I continue? Yes, actually anybody, irrespective of their background, can enter into the field of data science and start their career in data science domain. It's a skill that you can learn and then you can practice, right? So that is all from our end. If you have any other questions, please type it into the chat box. If you want to avail the offer, please submit the Google form. Yes, correct. Thanks, Manikant. So today was actually a brief about how would be your learning journey with data science, how would be your experience exactly, what all you would practice and learn. So I hope we were able to answer most of your questions. If you have anything else, please mention it into the chat box. Yes. So my answer is yes for the query that you are from civil engineering background and data science could be possible to learn. Yes. So I'll tell you how. Okay. I'm from an MBA background. I've pursued my MBA in 2020. And being a part of upGrad, it is even I got an opportunity to learn data science. However, my vision was to upskill in my own career, not to transition to the data science course. I am able to relate with this, right? As you could see into the testimonials that I had presented on my screen. Bhupendra is actually also coming from civil engineering background, okay, and he has pursued this course and he was placed in Tech Mahindra's sister company. The duration of this course is 6 months, and then you can avail career support and services. Your academic counselor will get more details if you wish to get placement services from us. So that all we will cover by the academic counselor. So you can just submit the Google form and our team will be getting in touch with you. Karan, you are a 12th grade student and your mathematics is so. Can you still pursue this course? Let me first talk about on the learning part, okay? You are currently in your 12th grade, and I'm sure that you would also be having your board examinations and all those commitments coming in, right? So when you pursue a course and any course, you have to ensure that you will be able to justify to the enrollment, correct? And if you're able to justify to the enrollment and you're sure that you'd be able to balance it out, go ahead, because this course is also made for working professionals. So they also are able to justify the balance between their jobs and their and their learning. This course also has learners from colleges who have examinations. Yes, okay. Knowing maths is definitely an added advantage. Okay. So, and however, you will not be having mathematics in the form of mathematics, more of a practical mathematics, which we apply, correct? So as long as it's good to have this course in your alignment to make your profile more stronger. Okay. Not talking about your chances of career services, correct? So because most of the organizations have the criteria that to get you a job, there will be a minimum, they need at least graduation to be completed, correct? We won't be able to clarify. Yeah, as Manikan said, that you, as long as you're able to manage your exams, correct? Irrespective of that, because even college students do that, I'm sure you'll be able to manage that as well. However, the job part we cannot assure you, because organizations have a criteria as the minimum eligibility of being a graduate over there. So if you want to upskill, if you want to improvise your portfolio, and if you and knowing the skill well in advance will enhance your portfolio better. Honestly, yes, it's an applicable skill. It will improvise your portfolio. It's completely your call. How flexible are the lecture timings? So the next, let me announce the next workshop timings here itself. Just give me a moment, please. Okay, DS. All right. So the upcoming workshop of Data Science Bootcamp is on 16th of August. The trainings will be on Saturday and Sunday, 6:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. IST in the evening. All right. And on every Tuesday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., you will be having a problem solving session. All right. Another batch of data science will be on Saturdays and Sundays, starting from 30th of August, where the training sessions will be 12:30 to 4:30 p.m. IST Saturday, Sunday. And the problem solving sessions will be on Thursdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. No worries, I'll copy that. So one workshop is on, let me post that into the group itself. Another one. Okay, so I hope this you will be able to yeah, these are the upcoming workshop schedules that we have. If anyone has any other questions, please let us know. Otherwise, we would like to take a wrap. We're going to have this meeting open for another 2 minutes to see if any other questions are coming in. Otherwise, we would be ending this webinar. At this point of time, I would like to thank our expert Manikant for joining with us today and my co-host Divya for being a part of this webinar and this masterclass today. Thank you so much, guys, for joining with us. Thanks a lot to all our audience to be super engaging. I look forward to see you all into the upcoming workshops. All the very best and keep learning, keep upskilling. And looking forward to see you all again. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. All the very best.